How are you training? What's your training goals? Does your training resemble those goals? Is it leading you in the direction of whatever your goals are? I think that's an important question to ask yourself. So, what is fitness? How do we maybe describe it? What are some different facets that we can get strong at or improve in? Well, I look at fitness for the most part kind of as four legs of a chair. You have strength, okay, you have endurance, you have balance, and then you have mobility. So if you're trying, for example, to become more mobile, improve your flexibility, but all of your training is geared around staying really, really tight and lifting heavy loads, because that's what you need to do. For example, when you're doing a heavy deadlift or a heavy back squat, you want to create a rigid core. You're sending the stimulus to your spine, your lower back, all those areas that brace and support you to, hey, be strong, be rigid. I'm moving a heavy load, we need to protect the spine. But then you might have a goal of being able to bend more, and as Bruce Lee says, kind of be like water. So fitness is hard because there's, like I said, sort of, at least the way I describe it, there's these four buckets of strength, balance, mobility, and endurance. And if you start to kind of dump sand into predominantly one bucket more than the others, you will improve in that category, and that bucket will fill up with more sand. But as you fill that one bucket with more sand, it's only fair to say that those other buckets aren't receiving any sand and that you're not getting better. And I would like to describe it that there's also like a little hole in the bottom of each bucket. So slowly over time, you're losing some sand. So if you don't continue to try to put sand in all of your buckets, eventually your buckets will basically be empty and run dry. And then you'll be in a position where, man, I haven't worked on my balance in a long time, and I'm having trouble doing movements that require balance to be, the main athletic event in the movement. So all I'm trying to help you maybe consider or realize is that sometimes there's going to be a period of time, I think, where you're going to be dumping more sand into one bucket than the other. But once one bucket gets relatively full and you gain a certain proficiency in that bucket, if you're after overall health and wellness and being pretty well-rounded in your fitness journey, I think it's fair to say, all right, my strength, I have decent strength. Everything that I do in life, I feel like I'm strong enough for when I'm doing yard work, picking up bags of mulch, or moving, heavier bags of concrete, pushing a wheelbarrow around, just doing sort of manual labor tasks. Do you ever feel like you're in a position where you're not strong enough to complete those tasks? If you feel that way, that you're not strong enough, well, maybe you should focus some training on getting stronger. And there's principles that you can use to do that. But let's say that you are strong enough and you do feel confident, but you feel like, man, I can't bend over and touch my toes. I can't, laterally flex my spine. So could you maybe then prioritize some of those movements to improve that and work on that. Not to say you totally let go of your strength movements in your program, because say you really enjoy them, continue to do that. But if you want to have a goal of becoming more mobile, more flexible, you have to sort of prioritize that and start to put more efforts into filling that flexibility, mobility bucket up, and kind of let that strength bucket sit there, or vice versa, whatever your goals may be. I'm just trying to provide an example. But you won't get better at balancing if you don't do movements and things that call upon your balance to perform. So if you're always frustrated with, man, my balance is so bad, well, that's because I'm going to argue you don't probably prioritize it or train it. I think it's unreasonable to say I should be good at something if you don't regularly do it or put energy and focus into it. So training is fun, at least I think so. And it's cool to kind of go down some different paths where you say, hey, for the next several weeks or months, I'm gonna really try to dump some sand in this bucket. I realize that I've gotten pretty strong and that I have some pretty decent mobility. I've definitely improved in those categories, but when it comes to, getting up a flight of stairs quick, or when it comes to trying to maybe go for a brisk walk or a jog, I'm finding that I'm really struggling to, keep my heart rate down, and my respiratory system may be my limiting factor. So in that case, I should probably gear my training a little bit more towards endurance. So, getting the heart rate up, spiking it, letting it come back down, improving your VO2 max and your ability to transfer oxygen into energy. So I hope maybe this sometimes, I hope this can somehow help you in your pursuit to improve your overall physical prowess, and understand that training should be geared towards your goals. Sometimes I hear people, make a statement like they want to be more flexible, they want to be more mobile, but I don't really see the movements that they're doing in the gym and throughout their training program resembling that goal. Or some people saying, hey, I want to get stronger, I really do, but not really sort of training for strength. So if you have any questions on how to maybe pick some exercises or some habits or practices that might help you achieve a better confidence in any of these sort of legs of fitness, right? Again, strength, mobility, balance, and endurance, I'm happy to help. Reach out to me, send me a question, but challenge yourself. Find that bucket that is lacking and put some energy into it. And from my advice to you, be okay with knowing that if you stop training for strength, but you start focusing on a lacking bucket, your strength bucket will deteriorate a little bit if you're not training it as much. But as you bring another bucket up, I'm going to argue that you're becoming a more well-rounded, sort of injury-prone, not injury-prone, but the opposite of injury-prone. You're becoming more resilient. You're building a more bulletproof body. So I hope this helps. I'm just trying to provide some insight that I have used that has helped me as I navigate this fitness space. And it's been pretty eye-opening sometimes when you want to achieve a certain goal, and actually taking a strategic approach to that goal and pushing towards it, you can really make some pretty cool strides forward. So Hope you guys get something out of this. Reach out to me if you have any questions. All right. Catch you later. Think fit. Think Fink.